Hello, honeybees. I'm in this beautiful place somewhere nearby my city, and it's, a little bit overwhelming because I don't know what to paint. It's still pretty much cold, but I have thermal clothes on me, so I should be good. And it's above zero, so supposedly no harm for paints or for paper. And there's a giant frozen lake beside me, even though it's already spring and it just begun to melt, but the lake is pretty much frozen all the way. So yeah, I'm just walking around searching for nice spots of where to stop to paint and what actually to paint, because it's my first time outside. I mean, the first time outside for plein airing, and yeah, it's quite overwhelming.
I found a little wooden shelter in my first spot that had a nice lake overview with some hills in the background. Attaching my camera arm to the table, began to lay out the supplies. It was overall a spontaneous trip that my sister invited me along, and I was supposed to be with everyone on the picnic, but choosing between food, okay, more like socializing, or painting, well, I grabbed my backpack and went painting. Thankfully, everyone was understanding or didn't care, doesn't matter. Okay, so before putting down the local colors, which are the true mid-tone colors of the objects, I lifted up my sketchbook with another sketchbook to have a better view in perspective. Then, using the large brush, blocked out the biggest and the most important shapes. This time I squeezed my paint into palette at home beforehand. If I had more time to pack, I would also tape it and do the underpainting, as in humid or cold places it takes more time for layers to dry. And also because light and colors change a lot on location, I need to be able to dive straight into painting without wasting time for preparations. The temperature was around 7 degrees Celsius, which is 44 degrees Fahrenheit. So I used gloves to protect skin on my hands, but at least it wasn't so bad as in the freezing cold. To the end of the first sketch, the rag I used to clean the excess paint and water was completely soaked, and in these conditions, no way it would dry enough for the next sketch. I don't like napkins or paper towels that much. I feel like it's a bit wasteful, but I still brought a pack of them just in case. And here's that case where the rag isn't working well. There are two things that I don't like about this sketch. First one is the lake perspective, and as it lacks of depth and therefore looks unnatural. And secondly, there was a tree trunk just in front of the nearest bushes, and I didn't invest time to actually look behind it, instead using my assumptions. Bad decision, but I still like the result. Also, I forgot to take a picture right away. Uh-oh. Well, moving on.
Okay, so I landed on the second spot for today that I noticed when I was just walking around and searching what and where to paint. And it is so calm here. I can hear the distant sounds of my friends and cars moving in the background, but for most part it's just birds and quiet. Even the wind stopped. It's like almost no wind, which I'm really grateful for because the wind is really cold, and I'm happy that I brought so many layers underneath me so I can so I can comfortably sit and paint and not worry about being cold or getting sick. So yeah, the colors are completely washed when I'm trying to take the picture because I try to see the composition, and what I see on the phone on the screen is so much duller than reality. And I'm so happy that I found this opportunity to go out and paint. Yeah, so anyway, less talking. We have not that much of a time because it will start getting dark probably maybe like hour, I think, or so, so the light will change drastically, and I want to catch these colors. So yeah, let's paint.
Next setup was trickier, but I had an old little fisherman chair, so no sitting on the ground, backpack or standing. I tried all of the above, do not recommend. So with sketchbook on my knees, palette in my hand and water bottle on the ground, it was decent for me enough to start painting. Pro tip for those who want to film the process, your camera should be attached on the left side, because if you paint with your right, it will block the view. Yeah, it is obvious, but in the moment when we have much harder decisions to make and observe and just have a mind stuffed with art thoughts, well, I did the easiest. Right arm, putting things to the right side, made sense in my brain. Rewinding a little, I did pencil sketch for this one before actually going into the painting, because drawing is the most important part of painting. Only when you drew enough that you have the drawing clear in your head, yeah, go into it. But before that, if you want a good result, do good foundation drawing. I just wish I did a few tiny thumbs instead of one larger, but nevertheless, it still resolved the problems from and in the first sketch. When I'm painting, I do my strokes thoughtfully and vary the brush moves or direction just to get the flow in the sketch. I also found not caring too much if I have tiny bits of another colors on the brush, I just let them blend and do what they do. Another tip. When painting the foreground tree, I don't see it as a bunch of branches. I squint my eyes, decide on the shape, and paint the lines inside that shape, holding brush near the end just to loosen it up. It's, by the way, a tip that I learned from great artist Jared Cullum. I will leave the link below. Despite light changing vastly, I did take notice of some beautiful colors and added them even when they were gone. This is why you need to have your gaze equally on paper and on subject, if not more, because the first decision you make are not the final. So overall I spent 45 maybe hour on these and used my watch to not lose the track of time. And as it got darker, I wandered back to where the social life was going.
And with this beautiful sunset on the background, I'm finishing with my Plein earring today. I'm super cold in my hands and in my feet, like you can see my hand is shaking. I can literally see the warm air is going out of my mouth, but it was definitely worth it. I'm so happy it's spring right now and I get to paint a lot more, and there will be many more beautiful views and many more beautiful places to draw and paint in. So yeah, stick with me if you want. You can subscribe, and as always I really love your comments, and just your support means so much to me. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoy it. Take care. Please go and draw outside. It is amazing. Goodbye. Carry on.